America. We care about our future and the future of Israel, and we're fighting this Iran nuclear deal. But it's also a solemn day in that we're certainly concerned and gravely concerned about the direction this is going. And the speeches spoke to that. Certainly Ted Cruz spoke a lot about that, about the blood on the hands of both the Democrats as well as the Republican leadership today. If this deal goes through, they are completely responsible. So while it was high energy and high octane and exciting to be together with one another like family reunion, you know what it's like, it also is, there's just this solemnity that's just, we're kind of, certainly so concerned and the forlorn feeling about what's coming if we don't stop this crazy Iran nuke deal.
Well, let's talk about this for now. Is the sense from everybody that because of this deal, that the United States has changed their policy as far as negotiating what we feel are nations that are sponsors of terrorists? Are we now, because of this deal, negotiating and sleeping with the enemy? Are we negotiating with terrorists?
Absolutely, Gene. You hit the nail on the head. Not only have we watched and witnessed that Obama is willing to negotiate with terrorists, this particular deal goes a step further. And I would submit that this deal is not just a negotiation with a state-sponsored terrorist group, but also a surrender to that this capitulation to that terrorist group. In a negotiation deal, it's give and take. Here's what I want. Here's what you want. We're going to give and take. We're going to come to a compromise. But in this deal, the United States gets nothing, and Iran is getting everything they're asking for. Gene, we're not even talking about the 4 hostages left behind and still handing over $160 billion and the ability to proliferate uranium. What in the world, on what planet are we on?
Oh, I totally agree with you. I got one more question. I know Amanda Kohut is dying to talk about the politics and the optics of all this stuff. But just one last thing, because we have to pay attention to the substance of the deal. And the substance that we're seeing, and these are supporters of the deal saying this, is that, as it stands right now, Iran could have a nuclear weapon in somewhere around 2 to 3 months. But I'm trying to understand, I don't see anything in this deal that stops Iran from getting it. It's like we're putting a moratorium on them almost, and they're still going to be able to get that after that moratorium is over within that same 2 or 3 months. Does this stop them from getting the bomb at all?
No, there is a moratorium like you're talking about. It has something to do with about 8 years in there. But let me mention this. The IAEA side deal to many of, there's the deal, and then there's all these side deals that haven't been revealed. Now, this is what Ted Cruz said today. There is such concerns about what's in the side deals because we see it, and he said today, and I need to look into it. I haven't had any long analysis. It's been a very busy day, but the fact that these side deals haven't been revealed and that Obama is not treating this like a treaty, which is what it is, it's an international treaty, that we could, if Boehner and McConnell got behind it, a 60-day waiting period, as well as getting on those side deals to be revealed. Otherwise, in the way that he's pushing it through right now, when they take it to a vote this week, that's actually breaking federal law. So what we need to do, and why people were excited today about this news, is that we can put the pressure on leadership to say, put this on pause. Reagan no deal, that is a bad deal. So if leadership will not show that they are willing to at least put this on pause and take a look at it from another angle, look into the fact that maybe this is violating federal statutes. Is Obama producing something that's an illegal treaty right in front of our own Congress? If that's the case, we need to push back on that. It's a scary situation. We've got to look at the situation very seriously, and we need to call our reps and tell them to put the pressure on Republican leadership. Look, Gene, we took over the House in 2010. We took over the Senate in 2014, but we're still behaving like we're under the leadership of Harry Reid. Now, this is ridiculous.
Amanda, go ahead. You got some questions? By the way, Brooke, I couldn't agree with you more about our leadership. It's the most impotent majority I've seen ever, but Amanda Kohut, you got some questions about the optics and the political end of this whole rally. Go ahead.
Well, yes, Gene, as you know, I'm the political nerd. So Brooke, let me ask you this. I think the most intriguing part of the Iran nuclear deal is the fact that you do have prominent Democrats that are standing in opposition to President Obama. In my opinion, the most notable one is Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, who, as we know, is slated to become the next Democrat leader in the Senate. So when you know that you have a whole group of Democrats that are ready to stand in opposition to their party leader on this bill, and then we look to this rally, why were Ted Cruz and Donald Trump the only 2016 candidates there?
Mm-mm. Isn't that shocking? I was surprised by that. I'm pleased that they did this together, but it was a shocking optic, like you say. I mean, Mike Huckabee was in Kentucky yesterday. Why couldn't he be in D.C. today? Why wasn't Rick Santorum? Why weren't other conservative and concerned Christians standing against this deal when they know that the Bible talks about he who curses Israel will be cursed, and this is nothing but a curse on Israel and a curse on America? It's a great question, Amanda. It's very upsetting to see that only Donald Trump and Ted Cruz care about it. I mean, that's really what I saw today. I saw Ted Cruz and heard Donald Trump, and I heard their concern, and they absolutely care. That's why they stood there together today. This was not about joining forces. I had other radio talk show hosts asking me, are they getting on the same ticket, whatever. Nobody cares about any of that today. Today we're concerned about this Iran deal, and it is perplexing and really maddening and shocking that was the only two presidential candidates on the stage. You're absolutely right.
Well, I actually see Mona Salama. Yeah, I was just saying. I see that Mona Salama says that Jim Gilmore was at the rally, but did he have any role? Was he on stage or?
Oh, you're right. Yes, I'm sorry. I was in the middle of a hit during that. He did speak. I did see that Jim Gilmore spoke. Now, everybody had, except for the keynotes, had about 2 minutes to speak, so Jim Gilmore was on and off pretty rapidly. I'm sorry that I didn't hear exactly what he had to say today, and I apologize for making that, carrying on that assumption. He did speak. Jim Gilmore was there.
Well, let me ask you one more.
Jim Gilmore will be a candidate for about another week or so, and then that'll be the end of that. So it's okay for you to forget him. Most of history will forget him as well.
I forgot him.
Does he even have a campaign office? Does he qualify for the CNN debate? I don't think so. But let me ask you one more question, Brooke. Considering the fact that so much of the legwork on this Iran bill right now is a matter of whipping votes, I'm rather curious. Did you encounter anyone or any groups at the rally that were there in support of the bill?
You know what's shocking to me, and I saw this actually on March 3rd when I was standing in solidarity for Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's arrival, and that was the same Jewish groups that are like, Judaism is not Zionism, is what they quote. They look Hasidic to me. They wear the hats and have the curls, and they march through and chant their chants. They don't. I don't think they have an appreciation for what it means for Israel or for Iran to say death to Israel and death to America, because they've stood against Benjamin Netanyahu. They've stood against today's rally. They definitely chanted and walked through. So it is a real shock to see what looks like Orthodox Jews stand against this, or stand against the opposition to the Iran rally, which really means they're for the deal. I mean, it's like, you got to be kidding me. Are these Jews that hate their homeland? We don't get it.
It makes me wonder, Brooke, as political activists, we do have a certain level of sophistication in discerning some of these nuances in policy. But if you're a regular American voter who isn't following as closely, I wonder, would that voter see a group of vocal Jewish people speaking against Israel? Would they then say, maybe Israel isn't that important? Is that a concern for the GOP? And if so, how can we address that?
I don't know. I think we just have to keep speaking what we're saying, and that is, we know that the Islamic Republic of Iran, the Ayatollah Khomeini says, it is their mission to wipe Israel off the face of the earth as the little Satan. And then not far behind that is the United States of America. They burn our flags. They burn Israel's flag. You'd have to be a museum-grade moron to not find that means that they want to kill you. So So as long as Americans stand together, as long as Christian Americans lock arm in arm with Jewish Americans that are against this deal, and the GOP is listening, and it looks like a couple of them are, if we can get Boehner and we can get McConnell to do exactly what they need to do, and that's stop this vote and look at it like a treaty and put it on a 60-day pause, investigate it. There's no reason to rush this. Just because Obama says he has to have it right now. My word, doesn't it feel like every week we've got a new tragedy that Obama's brought to our forefront? Every week we've got some new tragedy, some new, instant, we got to deal with this right now, or the end of the world. I tell you this, Obama has proven to be a liar. When you mentioned a moment ago about the supporters of the Iran deal, that 2 or 3 months they'd have a bomb, blah, blah, blah. Listen, all I hear is shovel-ready jobs weren't so shovel-ready. You can have your plan if you want your plan. You can have your doctor if you want your doctor. If anything's coming out of this Obama administration, I contend that you can expect it to be a lie.
Well, we call it the tennis ball machine theory of politics. If you ever had practicing tennis and you see that machine with the gun that shoots the barrel of tennis balls at you, they set that on high, and they have a million tennis balls coming at you at the same time, and you can only hit so many back at the same time. That's the Obama administration theory of running government and running politics. It's either a million scandals coming at you, or it's a million emergencies coming at you. It's one of the two all the time. Got some comments in our chat room right now. By the way, we have a live chat going on during the interview, folks. So if you're listening to us live on We Are America Radio, the #1 political talk station on Live365.com, get into the chat with us right now. You'll be glad you did. There's a lot of great patriots in there hanging out and talking about this interview, talking about the Iran deal, and talking about a whole lot more. And one of the comments from the chat room is comparing this deal to the deal that then President Clinton said was a good deal for North Korea. And look where that got us. Was anything brought up at the rally about how we are forgetting history and we are now doomed to repeat it once again when it comes to this Iran deal?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That was a theme, actually. There was, I can't think of his name, a Navy SEAL who said that very thing. If we don't pay attention to history, we are doomed to repeat it. Gene, I got to apologize. There were 50 speakers today, and it was 94 degrees on the West Lawn, and I am sunburned and sun-spent. So forgive me.
Oh, listen, it's okay. So you know what we're going to do? Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make life really, really easy for you, Brooke, because you know I love you and I want you to be well and okay. I want you to tell everybody how they can find you on social media. I want you to plug your organization, and I want you to get some rest because we got a lot of work now between now and 2016. So go ahead and give everybody all that information.
Thank you, Gene. You know I love you, too. I'm Brooke McGowan. We've launched Concerned Christians for America. You can find us on Facebook, Concerned Christians for America, as well as Instagram and Twitter. We are just really standing in the fight. We've decided that Christians are tired of being silent, and obviously that you can see that. You can see what they're doing, with the Kim Davis thing this week. Christians have been silent for too long, but I contend that they are just waiting for courageous leaders, and we will be silent no more. So Concerned Christians for America is a coalition of fighters, and courage is contagious. Come join us. Our website will be live soon. If you join us on Facebook, you'll see when that happens. So I encourage everybody to join us. I appreciate it.
Well, I'll be the first one to join as soon as everything is up and running and ready to go. Brooke McGowan, everybody, the Executive Director of Concerned Christians for America. Thank you so much for coming on. I'll be talking to you soon. Of course, we'll probably talk like every day between now and Election Day, but I won't bother you too much. Get some rest. I'll talk to you soon. Great job.
Thank you, dear. Bye-bye.
Bye. All right, and that was Brooke McGowan, the Executive Director of Concerned Christians for America. When we come back, folks, we're going to bring Mona Salama onto the show, our resident Politichick and Behind the Main Lines contributor. But first, and this is Amanda Coat's favorite part of the show, we will be
equal time?
giving equal time, yes, to the weekend host of Politics Nation. He got demoted. So sorry, not sorry, Reverend Al. But we still give you equal time here during a weekday in prime time on We Are America Radio. Gene and Amanda Behind the Main Lines will be back with Mona Salama right after this word, oh my lord, from the Reverend Al Sharpton. The show will be right back. But first, a word from Al Sharpton.
Good evening, Rev. Thanks
Good evening,
to
Rev.
you, Ed. Is this Groundhog Day 2? We are watching that was Attorney General